The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers. Back to throw Montana. Step up throws. This fight is over. Floyd Mayweather has a knockout victory over Ricky Hatton. Smiling. Oh! He slapped him! Conor McGregor is the new UFC featherweight champion of the world! Oh! Unbelievable!
Put the countdown mic up! Hell no!
Welcome back to Championship Rounds. Sorry about that. We're back just in time for Wildcard weekend. I'm joined by none other than, I think he's kind of what you would call a regular at this point. Chris Workman of Workman Carpet Caring, a really, really good friend of mine. What's up, Chris? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to Wildcard weekend. Some good games on our slate here.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I know it's been a week in between, but unfortunately, T-Hank couldn't join us, so you could really rub in that Cleveland Browns game.
Yeah.
Or was it Cleveland or the Jets? Because I think they both did some upsets here.
Yeah, it was the Jets in that game that won against Cleveland that week. So you guys all didn't think it would happen, but like I said, I knew they had the
definitely
defense.
didn't see that happen. I couldn't have called it. I'm surprised you called it. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll the winners, and then we'll get into it. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Got Chris Workman here. We're just gonna go ahead and start the games in order. And when I say in order, I mean by the time that they air, what time they kick off. Let me go ahead and get to the first one. The first one is going to be the Indianapolis Colts, and they're traveling to Buffalo to play the first place Bills. What you got in this game, Chris?
This is a game where we're going to see if the Buffalo defense, run defense specifically, can stop Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's been having a lot of success, specifically the last 5 weeks of the season. So we'll see if that trend continues. Buffalo does have a great secondary. So I'm looking for Phillip Rivers to possibly throw a pick. Who knows if it's going to be a big pick or not, if the Colts can stay within the game with them. Because the Bills are averaging over 47 points a game the past 3 games. So
Really?
That's true. And I don't think that the Colts defense is going to be able to stop that. So can they keep up? We'll see. But Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, I'm suspecting someone's going to get a pick or two. So that's why, yeah. Well, that's why I think that they could cover the 6.5. Would I want to take the 6.5? Look, both teams are playing good. The Colts have won 5 games if it wouldn't been for that fourth quarter meltdown against the Steelers. Yikes. So they've been playing good. But no one's been hotter than the Bills right now. So Josh Allen possibly be the MVP. So the way he's been playing. So I don't think the Colts can stop that enough to win the game. So I would take the 6.5. But throw them in a parlay. If the Bills lose, I'd be pretty surprised.
Yeah, you'd be pretty surprised if the Bills lose because they've been looking pretty damn good. I mean, the Bills ain't circled the wagons this well since what's his face? I can't even remember his name. Since Thurman Thomas, since Don Beebe, since what was the quarterback's name? I can't even remember his name. Shame on me.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. So
It's
I
been
mean,
a long
obviously,
time.
right, and obviously they didn't seal the deal when that occurred as well. This is my complex on this. Last year, okay, all right, let me pause. You mentioned that Josh Allen looking great, looking like the MVP, putting up points, putting up passing yards, especially the last 3 games as you outlined, a lot of yards. He is what everybody's talking about. He is probably a shoo-in to be on the cover of Madden next year. But they probably already released that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that he's what everybody's talking about. Who was everybody talking about last season? Chris?
Are you
Who was
trying to
everybody talking
switch
about
the
last
games up on us?
the quarterback, not named Patrick Mahomes, who was
Lamar Jackson,
the
but
talk of the town?
all right.
Who was the talk of the town last year? Answer me.
Lamar Jackson, obviously, but I'm saying that's completely different. So
All I'm saying is the man was doing things, putting up a lot of points, rushing and passing, doing it all, and everybody was talking about him. Exit out of the playoffs. I'm saying that the Colts could definitely win this game. They have veteran leadership. I know that Phillip Rivers has been taking a lot of flack all season. Everybody wants to say, oh, Rivers sucks, Rivers sucks. Surprise, Colts fans. That is your best option. He has the experience more than anybody on the damn team. And he's been in San Diego his whole career. Well, it's not going to be crazy if Phillip Rivers can get it done and beat the damn fucking Buffalo Bills, who are hot right now. Everybody's talking about them. But when the chips are down, when it's win or go home, how will they play? This is the NFL. It looks like the Bills are going to roll. I understand why you pick them, Chris. I do. It's a smart play. They look like the best team in the league. Go ahead.
This wouldn't be my best pick of the week. There's other games I like a lot better. But if you're going one way or another, there's no way that I can go against the Bills. I can't.
I completely understand.
You shouldn't
that,
either,
man.
unless you want to really risk your money, or unless you're just a Colts fan and want to have fun. You know,
look, bro, I'm not making much risk this weekend. I got $30. I got 3 parlays. Yes, the Colts are a part of one of those parlays. They're $10 parlays. The Colts are a part of that. Are a part of one of those parlays at least because they are a live dog. They are not. They didn't limp. I mean, I know they barely made it in because of how close the AFC is, but they didn't limp their way in. They're a good football team with a good defense and a veteran leadership at quarterback. So they're in this game. And for the sake of championship rounds, yes, Bills going down. Called it. Indianapolis Colts travel to Buffalo and take down the Buffalo Bills. That's my pick. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, real quick, Marcel. The Colts are a top 11 team in passing offense, passing defense, and run defense. Let's see if they can do it on Saturday. I don't think so because the Bills are that hot that I don't think they can be stopped. But
we're definitely going to find out, and we ain't got to wait that long to do so. So
we shall see.
All right, we're just going to move on to the next game. Next game takes place in Seattle. We got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Super Seahawks. Just kidding, just the Seahawks. They're not looking very super as of late. Go ahead with this one, Chris. What you got on this one? What's your analysis?
Wow. We don't even know who the quarterback's going to be for the Rams, but for some reason, I still want to take the Rams in this game as the underdog. They're probably one of the better. If I'm going to take an underdog this week, this would be it. Would be the Rams because Seattle, as you say, has not been super at all. Matter of fact, they haven't thrown a pass. They haven't had a play bigger than 20 yards in the past 4 weeks. Wow. So Yeah. So I don't. And then with the Rams defense, also, it's going to be tough for them regardless who plays at quarterback. We know I think Cooper Cup's going to be back, and Jared Goff looked like he's practicing today, so I'm pretty sure he will get the nod, right? But either way, I would still take the Rams, you know,
Right, it's the
as an underdog.
playoffs. All right. I know there was like a Cinderella story. A guy was working. I think he was in finance, and he changed his Indeed to from finance to quarterback of the L.A. Rams last week, and they won the football game. Um, I don't think Jared Goff is going to sit this one out. I mean, unless there's some protocol for COVID or something. I think he's going to show up. I think he's. I mean,
It's not
it's his
COVID.
team.
It's
No,
his.
I'm just saying I don't know if there is any COVID or protocol or anything, or if I know the injury and things like that, but
He
I'm
had
saying I don't
stitches
know
on
if
his
there's anything
throwing
else.
thumb. He had stitches on his throwing thumb, so
Okay.
that was the issue. So,
Well, he's
but
gonna show up and play, and like you said, even if he doesn't show up and play, I
we know the
playoff
Rams
Russ can show
defense
up.
will show
Playoff
up and
Russ
play.
can show up. But
Hey, here's the
go ahead,
stat for you, Marcel. No quarterback this year has been sacked by more times in one game than what Russell Wilson got sacked against the Rams this year. 11.
Yeah,
So
that's because Carson Wentz didn't play all year, but but yeah, you're right. They have a great defensive line. Aaron Donald's a main child, and they got other guys too. So yeah, I'm with you on this one. You know what I mean? I guess the two of us can call this a duo guarantee for championship rounds because I'm rocking with the Rams too. I can't believe in the Seahawks right now. Like they barely beat my Niners. You know what I mean? And they were looking so good at the beginning of the season. Like they fell off of the horse, like and broke their damn backs. Like what happened, Chris? If you had to put something on it to say what happened to them, what the hell
Russell Wilson was cooking in the
with
first
gas?
half of the season, and defenses have found ways to stop that. So again, they've definitely took away the long plays, the big plays, have not been on the menu for Seattle in about a month. So it's going to be interesting. But then again, it's Russell Wilson, and anything could happen. So this again I wouldn't be shocked if the Seahawks won, but I wouldn't want to take them as a favorite. Give me a free field goal for the Rams.
I want to see something real quick because I'm curious. I wonder if I can see Russell Wilson's quarterback rating in the past 5 games. 1 second.
We know it hasn't been good.
And I'm gonna see if I can't go ahead and yeah, because I mean, like I said, this guy has been like he started off lighting it up, and now it's just like he's looking like I don't just like I said, definitely not super. And let's see here. Let me see. I think I can. Where is the rating? Well, I mean, you could just. Yeah, okay. Let's see his average in the last 5.
And then I think we should move on to the next game.
Yeah, definitely move on. You're right. And yeah, I'm messing it up anyways. But like, look at this. Like week 17, 181 yards, 16, 225, 121. But if you look at the beginning, he was definitely near 3 or over 3, and that touchdown stat was just lighting up the board. And now he's just looking like I don't know. He just can't do anything. So I don't know what happened to him. It's not like he lost a bunch of players. I mean, DK Metcalf looked like he was going to lead the league in receiving. I remember you said that to me on the phone. He definitely did. So I just don't understand what the hell happened to them is all. So yeah, but we can definitely move on.
So Jamal Adams is going to be playing in the game, right? Even though he's got a shoulder issue.
Yeah.
We'll see if he gets a safety blitz, he gets a sack off a couple of those or something. Then we'll know that the Seahawks defense came to play. But I don't know. Their defense, we know their defense isn't great, and they have issues running the ball.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
I think you combine those, and it's going to be kind of like a disaster for him.
I
So,
completely
but
agree.
we'll see. But if they can, again, you got Russell Wilson, they can put it together. They also got no offensive
Well for
line.
us.
They've got no offensive line, and that's definitely bad against the Rams. So,
Not good.
but we can move to the next game.
All right, we will do just that. And the next game is going to be taking place in Washington. As crazy as that sounds, yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to Washington to play the football team. Go ahead, Chris.
This is a game where I would be shocked to see someone lose. I would be shocked to see the Bucks lose against this Washington team who, look, let's face it, they shouldn't even be here. It should be the Giants had the Eagles actually kept Jalen Hurts in the game. They didn't, so they pretty much forfeited the game, and the Giants playoff bid. So, but Washington is here, literally limping into the playoffs with Alex Smith.
Literally.
Um, Chase Young wants Tom Brady. He's going to get him. But the problem is, Brady's going to be getting rid of the ball quick. So how it's going to wear him out. Um, I don't like Washington's chances in this to move the ball offensively. Therefore, even though I think Washington they've got a good defense, even real good defense, but I don't say they've got great defense. Not one that can stop this Bucks high-powered offense, which has been on fire lately. So give me the Bucks to win. I think they should win big in this. I don't see. I see. Listen, if they can be held with under 20 points, then congratulations to Washington. Even if they do win or lose, you know what I mean. Whether they do win or lose, but I don't think that happens. I also don't think Washington scores more than 20 points. That's what would really impress me.
You don't think
If
they're
they were
capable, even with Alex Smith at the helm?
all you got to do is get pressure on Alex Smith. Look, if Tom Brady's a statue, what is Alex Smith? I mean, he was looking absolutely terrible. Any bit of pressure, and the Bucks have that. And
Mhm.
Washington also won't be able to run the ball against Tampa Bay
Bucks are
either.
great at stopping the run. Great.
The greatest stop in the run, and we'll see. I don't think they can keep up with the Bucks. So that's
Well, we're going to go
just
ahead
my
and move on to
conclusion
the
on
next
that.
game because I'm right there with you. I don't see a world where Washington gets this one done. I know Chase Young says he wants Brady. He's writing a check. He's not going to be able to cash flat out. Buccaneers going away victoriously in this one. And we'll see who
Throw them
they
in
end
your
up playing
parlay.
next week.
Throw them in your
Say again?
parlay. Throw
Oh,
them and the
definitely.
Bucks in your parlay, or the
That
Bills. I
is
mean,
that should be a staple of your parlay. Like that's probably, in my opinion, the biggest guarantee of the weekend. Tampa Bay over Washington. As you mentioned, Washington shouldn't even be there if the Eagles would have kept Jalen Hurts in the game, which both of us lost a little bit on that. Not a lot,
may or
but
may not have cost me much money, but
right, exactly. So yeah, let's move on to the next game here, and that game's taking place in the Music City. Tennessee is going up against Baltimore. We spoke about this one earlier. Go ahead and let them know what you think.
well, Marcel, obviously, I'm siding with the Baltimore Ravens on this one. So, um, I think there is a lot that Lamar Jackson has to prove. I think he's going to be running like he's never has before ever. He wants to win this game more than anybody else does out there, and I think it's going to show. And I also think that there's not anything that the Tennessee Titans have been able to do to get a pass rush on opposing quarterbacks all year, let alone someone of Lamar Jackson's stature. Now we know they played in week 11. All right. But we
Yeah, what
also
happened?
know
What happened?
we also know that the Ravens were up 21-10 in the third quarter before they had a collapse there. It took overtime for the Titans to win that. I don't think they get as lucky in this game. I think Lamar Jackson had a pedestrian performance in that one. I don't expect the
They were
same in
all
this
over
one.
his ass.
The Baltimore Ravens have been rolling lately. They're 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 games. So you can say whoever they played, whatever. I don't care about their competition. They beat them handedly, and Tennessee's defense is going to be the reason why they lose this game. Now, I think they might be able to run the ball against Baltimore a little bit, but we'll see. What I don't think they'll be able to do is run in the fourth quarter with him. So
But
we'll
somehow
see.
they were
And
able to run and somehow they were able to run into overtime and take down the Ravens last time they played. But
well, I think this game's going to be different because Marcel, I think Baltimore is going to have a nice little lead in the fourth quarter this time. So you're going to want to run less. And I also think that the Titans have a terrible secondary. So, and who led the league in touchdowns last year? Lamar Jackson did, and I think him and Marquise Brown, who have been connecting quite well as of late, together, are going to have some success on Sunday as well. So now the Titans have a chance because again they have a good offense, one of the best in the NFL. But I think the Ravens with a lot to prove. I think they're going to go out here and play like their lives are on the line.
mm,
So, and I think that they're going to definitely cover the spread. So, out of all the games this weekend, even the Pittsburgh Browns game, this is the one I like against the spread the best. Give me Baltimore.
all right, so you're going with Baltimore, and I am going with Tennessee. Yes, Marcel Pierre is calling it. Derrick Henry is going to have a field day. Rushing yards champion, second year straight. He's going to come in here and make a statement that he is the statement. He ain't the X factor. He's the only factor. And you'll see that come this weekend because he's going to run wild all over the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are going to disrupt. Yes, disrupt. They might get rushing yards with J.K. Dobbins here and there. He might do his thing because
He wasn't
obviously
there last year.
they're not great at stopping the run either. But as far as Lamar Jackson running the football, yeah, he's going to get his here and there, but they're going to disrupt the hell out of him just like they have done before. And Derrick Henry is going to run all over them. It's going to be a damn shootout. There's not going to be much defense, but the team with the most points at the end of the game is going to be the Tennessee Football Titans. That's what I'm calling.
Hey,
Anything
Marcel,
else
did
before
you
we
know
move
that?
on?
Yeah, quick fun fact in case anybody forgot what happened just last week in the Titans game where they had to win the game to get to the playoffs against the Texans. Okay, the Texans put up 29 points in the second half.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, they have the league's
Wow.
passing champion, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
Okay, they
well,
can do that. He can do stuff like that because he's that good a quarterback. What's your point? I
well,
remember just the other week the Ravens. You know what I mean? It's not like they had a playoff spot locked up. They had to win too. They just didn't play nobody. So that's all I'm saying about that. So anything else you want to touch on this game before we move on?
yeah, the Ravens have a lot better offensive line than the Texans, and they've got more weapons, and I think they're going to blow out the
They've got a better
Titans.
offensive line, but when you
And
got
you're
a
going to be wrong.
quarterback that's running around all the time, their protection can be unpredictable. I'll just leave that at that.
The Titans are one of the worst teams at sacking the quarterback or pressure on the quarterback at all this year. So if you're picking the
I mean,
Titans,
it might
have
just
fun
be a
with that.
Baltimore thing. See, it might just be a Baltimore thing. All right, next game we're going to New Orleans. It is the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I think if the Bears have any chance of winning this game at all, their defense is obviously going to have to play well, and they're going to have to draw up some interesting plays for Mitch Trubisky. I think those plays might be designed run plays for Mitch to try to handle, but they're gonna need to get in the lead, and they're gonna need to not get play from behind. That's easier said than done. But otherwise, this game could get out of hand because if they're forced to pass the ball a lot, they've got really good corners back there, Lattimore and them, and it's gonna be a recipe for disaster for Mitch Trubisky. And with Kamara, if Michael Thomas comes back for sure, I think the Saints roll. But anything could happen, and I'm not specifically a Saints fan, so I'll be rooting for the Bears to win that one. But I'm going to stay away from it. As far from a gambling standpoint, I would stay away from it. I mean, if someone throws the Saints in their parlay, it's pretty predictable. But
would you throw the Bears in your parlay?
No, that's something I wouldn't do. No, I'm not impressed with. They've played. Listen, they've played better a lot lately, but they haven't played against. They always have problems with the Saints, and in the playoff game, I think they're going to have a lot of problems. So,
all right, I guess they're not going to bear.
That's about all I got to say about the Bears. So hey, but I would be. That's one where I would be shocked though if the Bears were able to pull it off.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. So you're picking the Saints. I'm also rolling with the Saints. Taysom Hill, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara. I don't need to say anymore. You might get Michael Thomas. You still got Sanders.
If he's coming back, it's definitely going to be tough for him. So,
all right. Well, yeah, that's my call. We're both going with the Saints. No need to spend too much more time on that game. We're moving on to the next one. That's going to be, obviously, I have it up on the screen now. Cleveland Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got, Chris?
I've got the very beatable Steelers winning this game and covering. If I'm going to have to choose, I'm going to definitely go with them because the Browns, definitely not impressive. We know they had to win last week against the Steelers. They barely got it done against a Steelers team, not only resting their starting quarterback, but several other key players. And they were barely able to get it done. And now you're talking about the coaches out, other coaches out. They've got a guard and somebody else out. It's not looking good. They just had the other COVID issues with the offensive line, the receivers. The whole team's a mess. They haven't made the playoffs since, but I think they said maybe 2002. They haven't won a playoff game since 1994 when Bill Belichick was their coach and they beat the New England Patriots, believe it or not.
Way to give the Patriots organization a little bit of credit just for just sliding that in there. You know what I mean? Way to go.
That was a far stretch, a big reach to throw the Patriots in us, but we know they can't be a part of the playoff talks like normal. But yeah, as far as the Browns are concerned, they won't be talked much about in these playoffs either. So they're going to get bounced pretty quick, I do believe, because, again, I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, even though he's had some moments this year. I think when he had this defense from the Steelers is legit. So how well Big Ben throws, we don't know. He's got the weapons that he should be able to get it to, but we know the Browns like to play with a running game first, so they're a team that needs to play with the lead too. I don't necessarily think they get that lead, but hey, the Steelers lost to the Bengals not too long ago. That's still in our memory. Also in our memory is the Steelers losing to about 4 other people lately. Also, so
they beat the Colts.
They did do that. The Colts had that that little meltdown, and that got them that win. Look, the Steelers are a good team, but again, they've been inconsistent, unpredictable. So that's why I wouldn't want to throw the Steelers in my parlay. But hey, it's the last game
But
of
you are picking them to win.
it's the last game of the weekend. If you've had success throughout the weekend, sprinkle some on them. Why not? Because again, I think they definitely win. I would be surprised if the Browns won.
As would I. As would I. As you mentioned, the Browns barely beat the damn Steelers. With the Steelers' secondary group, they had a lot of key players out on both sides of the ball, and still the Browns needed that sweep with Baker Mayfield to get the first down to win the game. So, at their pieces back, I feel like the Steelers' defense alone is going to be able to make Baker Mayfield lose the game for the Cleveland Browns. So the Steelers might not even have to win this game. I'm picking the Steelers to win, obviously. So,
Yeah,
anything else you want to say on that one before we
at
move
minus
on?
six, that's not bad. I mean, think about it. If it was anybody else with the issues they've had with, I mean, their head coach is not going to be playing, and they're missing other players. They're not. I don't even think they've been practicing on Zoom. So, I mean,
Wow.
if this was any other team besides the beatable Steelers, I think the spread would have jumped up an entire touchdown or something. But that just shows you that the Steelers are beatable, but the spread is nicer if you want to take it.
I believe in the Steelers' run defense as well. I know they've had games where
Thousand
quarterbacks have
percent, I'd believe in it. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean I know that they got, Chubb and Hunt, but I believe in the Steelers' run defense, especially when you got the quarterback Baker Mayfield throwing the ball. I don't think he sucks, but I don't think he is good enough to win you games. I think if the run game isn't going well, to give him setups for play actions and things like that where he can get it, around in the pocket or outside of the pocket and create, more time for the receivers to get open. I feel like those aren't games he ever wins. So, at the end of the
Right.
day, yeah, at the end of the day, we're both picking the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you said you'd stay away from it.
I mean, with all the other games that are on the slate, that's not the one I'd be the most excited to pick. I would throw it in there, but
I mean, I'm putting all 6 games in my parlays because you know what I mean. I just want, I want to cash in big. This is 6 games. I mean, think about the probability of picking all of them right. But anyways,
they
like
all seem predictable, though, right? I mean,
exactly,
barely.
like I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I don't think they're. That's the thing. I don't think they are that predictable because even we just picked different on some of these picks. I got Tennessee winning. You got Baltimore winning. I got Indianapolis winning. You got Buffalo winning.
Oh, you got the Colts to win?
Yeah, Colts are winning this. Yeah, Colts are
Wow.
moving on.
Way to
Oh
be a
yeah.
homer.
Hey man, I'm not a Colts fan, obviously, but I
Well,
got the Colts winning. You know what I
okay.
mean? All right. Obviously, that's the six
Don't
games.
throw them in your parlay.
I mean, I got a parlay with one of them in, with them in one of them. So I got a couple where they're not. But like I said, I got three $10 parlays. That's what I'm doing. So last thing I want to touch on, since that's all the games, who you got winning? Roll Tide or the Ohio State University?
It just depends on how healthy Justin Fields is, right? I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. So, because if he's completely healthy, um, I think Ohio State can move the ball a little bit against this defense, which is good but not great in Alabama. So now, will they be able to stop Alabama? That would be the most impressing thing out of that game if they were to be able to pull off the win, is how often or not they could stop them. I would
Mhm.
like to see. So um, it started out at 7. It's moved up to I think 8.5 now.
Oh,
So
moving that way, huh?
yeah, and I would tend to have to. I'm going to go with the favorite here. But hey, I didn't think that Ohio State could beat Clemson either. So That should tell
You know
you.
what? I didn't. I was thinking Clemson too. Look, I was going to bet on that. This is what happened. Like some guy bet like some ridiculous amount of money on Ohio State to beat Clemson. So immediately I thought, this guy probably knows something I don't. So I
Oh
bet
yeah,
on it.
sure.
So I put some money on Ohio State, went to bed, and woke up and saw they cashed in. I was like, he definitely knew something I didn't know. So
Yeah, because
that's how that worked out for me.
Ohio State came out and was on fire the entire game. It never cooled off. So
Wow, man.
it
Well,
was
maybe
it was
they'll get
pretty
that fire
impressive.
again. But so you're picking Alabama though.
I have to pick Alabama. I definitely think they'll win the game. Um, but both things could happen. I mean, Ohio State could cover the 8.5, excuse me, and Alabama still win. So, but yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, the biggest variable is Justin Fields' health. So,
Hmm.
how ready to go he is, and I think we'll see pretty early. If you want to wait to bet, you can just wait and see how he's feeling on the first drive or two. Make your decision from there.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna put a little. I'm picking Alabama to win too, but I might put a little bit of scratch on the underdog just to see how it plays out. Anything else you want to plug? Chris Workman of Workman Carpet Care. Before we get out of here,
uh, get a hold of Carpet Care when you need your carpets done. We're the best in town, and we look forward to everyone's business.
all right, amazing. And until next time, Chris, thanks for being on once again.
All
Stay
right. Hey,
fucking frosty, people. That's what the Marines say, and they say it for a reason. Now let's get the bag.